And a lot of pastors' health are breaking down on them and congregations. And I want to feel the Spirit admonishing me to say to congregations, your pastor is not the Christ. He cannot run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Amen.
I don't care how you pray for him. He can't do that 24 hours, 7 days a week, and shouldn't.
No.
He should have a family. He should have children. He should have time to himself. He's got to study. He's got to be to himself. Then he has it. So every one of us who are in this work, we're overwhelmed. And so though you're overwhelmed, don't forget that we have a great shepherd. We have a great shepherd. And listen to this shouting news. Who has asked us to cast all of our cares
Amen.
on him.
Amen. Amen.
And so it's nothing new. You being overwhelmed, I mean, all of us facing it everywhere you turn. Now the next thing, so little progress. The Christian journey is a maturing, constant process. You don't plant a cotton seed and pick cotton the next day.
No, sir.
You don't plant a pecan and then crack them off that tree the next day. The Christian faith is a maturing, it's a growing in grace. And it's slow. It's slow. I mean, everything God does is slow. Now, he doesn't have to.
To us, yeah.
He can say, tree be grown, and that tree will be 40 feet. But he doesn't. He lets it just become a little twig and grow up and grow up. Everything in nature, including bring forth a baby. God has the power to say, woman be pregnant, woman deliver. And it could be in those 2 seconds. And I'm sure women may even would prefer that. But that is not the way he does it. And so there is little progress, and when you prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, I was preaching on how long it was from the time the Lord said to Abraham and Sarah, thou shalt have a child, to the time it happened. It was a long time. It was years involved. And many of us have given up after 2 weeks of prayer. You run into people and say, now, Pastor, I prayed a whole week over that. And yet matured Christians will show you some things they have been talking to God about for years. And so I want to say that depression creeps in when you try to fit it into human time frame. You see, when you decide that you're gonna be a Christian giant next week, you're gonna know all about God and his mysterious universe in 3 days. You're gonna be depressed.
Right on. Right on.
The other point on how to get into this depression is that the Christian journey is a thankless journey. There aren't a whole lot of people banging the door down of TBN saying, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Jan. Is it me? I went to a funeral of a preacher friend of mine who used to have people around the wall. And I don't know how many people he's gotten out of jail. I don't know how many people he fed. I don't know how many homes he saved. I don't know how much rent he paid in children's shoes. But at his funeral, there were 87 people. It's such a thankless job. You can work your heart out and look like life to a Christian doesn't give you a whole lot of thanks. It just look like people just assume, you know, that you ought to do that. And so if you're looking for a whole lot of roses and thanks, and even when they give you roses and thanks, they leave their bill. They leave what they want you to do in return, even for their thanks. Sometimes I'm leery about accepting some of my members' gifts because I know they're going to work me for the next 2 months. You see, it's a thankless job. And it is a job that not only is it thankless, Not only is it a job that will take all of life out of you and hardly say anything to you, and there's so little progress, but one of the reasons why many of you are depressed, and it's the same thing found in the 71st Psalms with David, the prosperity of the wicked. Now that can depress you. I mean, that can depress you.
Brother.
You trying to sing for Jesus and live a moral, clean life, and you're honest with your testimony, and you're honest with the people's funds and what have you, and it looks like every day as one trial after another. And yet here comes some shyster. I start to say hooker, but I guess that's another word. But here comes somebody who has no commitment, who has no real testimony of saving grace, who doesn't look like they care about the kingdom of God. All they want is that honorarium and that expense, and they're gone. And they prosper, look like everything they put their hands to. The world just prospers. And there are many people today who are depressed and even staying away from church because they are looking at the wicked, and the wicked prospers. The wicked do not pray. The wicked do not sacrifice. The wicked do not live a disciplined life. They don't pay no attention to the scripture. They don't hear the preacher. And they drive Mercedes, and Christians ride rapid transit. They have mansions, and some of my people have to live in rooming houses. Good, wonderful people, love God, pay their tithes, live according to the rules of the Lord, bless people, volunteer, support the church, support TBN, support everything, and look like theirs is just so little. And yet here is this thug, this pusher, this pimp, this high class, high tech, high society sinner, and look like everything just goes his way. The prosperity of the wicked. Now, that's how you get into, that's how you become depressed. That's how you want to jump. That's why, that'll make you want to take a whole lot of pills. That'll make you want to bam and all that. But now I want to tell you how to get out of it. I want to tell you how to get out of it.
All right.
First of all, you have to reread the contract. Reread the contract. I was having something built, and it wasn't looking like I wanted it to look. And so I went to the builder. I said, "You're not doing this right." He said, "Let's look at the contract." Do you see me? He said, "Now, I will modify the contract, but now if we take a look at the contract, here is the contract." Now, the first thing that I want to get over to Christians tonight is what the Lord has promised. Now, he has promised to take care of us. He has promised to bless us. But he has also promised that in this world, John 16:33, in this world, we are going to have tribulation. We are going to be hated. We're going to be reviled. We're going to be persecuted. We're going to be lied on because we are a peculiar people. We are citizens of another world.
Amen.
We are pilgrims in this land.
Yes, yes.
The prince of this world hates us. So if you're trying to live a Christian life, remember God didn't lie to us. He put it all up front. He said, if they did it to me, what will they do to you? And they will do to you for my name, just because of my name's sake. And we who are Christians have got to understand that we are operating behind the enemy line. We are a called out group. We are a marked crowd.
Amen.
Satan has marked us. And every conceivable thing, every demon on this continent will park at your house and try to get you in depression, doubt your God, and jump off of a bridge.
Yes.
If you don't know the contract.
All right. All right.
See, but I know the contract.
All right.
I know the contract.